Hi everybody. I thought today we would continue with our study in Isaiah. We're still in Isaiah 1, but today we end Isaiah chapter 1. And we'll be talking about Isaiah 1 verses 24 to 31. And I'll read it first and then I'll tell you what I got from it. And I hope at the end in the comments that you'll give me feedback. What did you get from it when you read it through by you know what I mean. I'm a little crazy. I stumble over my words. However, I'd love to hear some of your feedback from all of you. That way we all can learn from each other. Okay, I'm going to start in verse 24 of chapter 1 of Isaiah. So grab your Bibles, grab your journals, and let's get started. Verse 24. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries, and avenge me of my enemies. And now I looked up ease in this context, and I got my study here, and it means rid myself. So I'll read that again because when I read it the first time I didn't catch that, and maybe somebody else didn't either. So starting again in verse 24. Therefore saith the Lord, the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries. Remember, that means get rid myself of. And avenge me of my enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterwards thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together. And they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded of the gardens that ye have chosen. And I looked up the verses that explain that as well, and it talks about the one group was worshiping idols in the oaks, and the other one was doing incense and stuff, and it says on brick in the gardens. And it sounds like to me in this verse here, they're not worshiping God. They're doing their own thing in the trees and in the gardens, and they're not worshiping God. They're worshiping nature, maybe. I'm not positive on that, but that's what it sounded like. Verse 30. For they shall be as the oak whose leaf fadeth, and as the garden that hath no water. So there again, it makes me wonder, are they worshiping nature? And now, because they worship nature, they're not going to have what the blessings of God are. They're going to get what nature gets. Verse 31, the last verse. And the strong shall be as tow. And I looked up tow as well. And tow is, or a wick, the word tow. T-O-W. And it means wick. So let's start again. And the strong shall be as tow, like a wick. It will burn away and be gone. And the maker of it as a spark. And they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. So when I read that, I thought, well, a lot of people today, they put a lot of different things ahead of God. So he's saying here that the people that put things above him and before him, and they worshiped rather than him, he gave them what? Those things they worship God. So the ones that worshiped in the oak, and they were like a tree. They came up, they bloomed, they withered, they're gone. The garden, same thing. It's like a garden with no water. It's all dried up. And then the strong, be as a wick. You're going to be a strong, and then gone. Because you wasted it. You wasted all your time and your effort on things that aren't biblical, aren't of God. So after I read that, and I did my study of the words and the passages to find out what he wanted me to learn from this, I've got my points on here, just like I do each time. And for this, I've got my little bullets, and it says, Lord of Hosts says. So that right there should say, okay, this is him saying, I'm telling you this. You better listen. And I'm like, okay, I want to listen. And it says, he will ease himself of adversaries and avenge himself of his enemies. I don't want to be an adversary, and I don't want to be an enemy of God. I want to be right with God. I want God to be pleased with me. The next thing I got. He will take away silver and tin and restore judges and counselors. So those who are out there worshiping money, this is another thing, or pleasures, or things, I guess I should say. Those that are worshiping things, he's going to take it away, and he's going to have them be restored by judges and counselors. So to me, we got to get all this excess out of our lives. Stop putting things and money and things like that ahead of him. Put him first, and things will go well. Next point I got. And afterwards they will be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. And I thought that would be wonderful. If all of us in the United States or all over the world, no matter where we are, if we would put him first, follow his laws and his word and his judgments, and listen to him and put him before everything else, we could be a city of righteousness or a nation of righteousness. And we could be called a faithful city. That would be wonderful. Then he goes on, the next bullet. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. So it seems to me like he's saying, if you turn away from all these worldly things, then I'm going to give you righteousness. Jesus is righteousness, and that's what I got when I got saved. And that is the best thing ever, the most important thing. For the transgressors and destruction of sinners. So I'd rather have the righteousness than destruction of sinners. And I'm going to end it on the personal note I put here, and it says, please, Lord, do that for our country. Not just our country, but the whole world would be wonderful. Well, that's it I have for you today, and I hope you followed along. You put your thoughts into it, and you put your little bullet points or journals or whatever way you do to express how you took it and how it affected you. That was mine, and I hope you journal yours as well. Bye-bye. God bless you.